The Magician's Nephew, Chapter 1. The Wrong Door. This is a story about something that happened long ago when your grandfather was a child. It is a very important story because it shows how all the comings and goings between our own world and the land of Narnia first began. In those days, Mr. Sherlock Holmes was still living in Baker Street, and the Sibyls were looking for treasure in Lewisham Road. In those days, if you were a boy, you had to wear a stiff Eton collar every day, and schools were usually miss, master, massier than now. But meals were nicer. As for sweets, I won't tell you how cheap and good they were because it would only make your mouth water in vain. In those days, there lived in London a girl called Polly Fumer. She lived in one of a long row of houses which were all joined together. One morning, she was out in the back garden when a boy scrambled up from the garden next door and put his face over the wall. Polly was very surprised because until now there had never been any children in the house but only Mr. Ketterley and Miss Ketterley, a brother and sister, a bachelor and old maid, living together. So she looked up full of curiosity. The face of the strange boy was very grubby. It could hardly have been grubbier if he had first rubbed his hands in the earth and then had a good cry and then try his face with his hands. As a matter of fact, this was very nearly what he had been doing. "Hello," said Polly. "Hello," said the boy. "What's your name?" "Polly," said Polly. "What's yours?" "Diggory," said the boy. "I say, what a funny name," said Polly. "It isn't half as so funny as Polly," said Diggory. "Yes, it is," said Polly. "No, it isn't," said Diggory. "At any rate, I do wash my face," said Polly. "This is what you need to do, especially after..." And then she stopped. She had been going to say, "after you've been blubbing," but she thought that wouldn't be polite. "All right, I have then," said Diggory in a much louder voice, like a boy who was so miserable he didn't care who he knew he had been crying. "And so would you," he went on, "if you lived all your life in the country and had a pony and a river at the bottom of the garden and then been brought to live in a beastly hole like this." "London isn't a hole," said Polly indignantly, but the boy who was too wound up to take any notice of her, and he went on. "And if your father was away in India and you had to come live with an aunt and uncle who wouldn't like that, and if the reason was that they were looking after your mother, and if your mother was ill and was going to die," then his face went the wrong sort of shape, as it does if you're trying to keep back your tears. I didn't know. I'm sorry," said Polly, humbly. And then, because she hardly knew what to say, and also to turn Diggory's mind to different subjects, she asked, "Is Mr. Kelly really mad?" "Well, either he's mad," said Diggory, "or there's some other mystery. He has a cellar on the top floor, and Aunt Letty says I must never go up there. Well, that looks fishy to begin with. And then there's another thing. Whenever he tries to say anything to me at mealtimes, he never even tries to talk to her. She always shuts him up. She says, "Don't worry, except boy, Andrew." Or, "I'm sure Diggory doesn't want to hear about that, or else. Now, Diggory, wouldn't you like to go out and play in the garden?" What sort of things is he trying to say? I don't know. He never gets that far enough. But there's more than that. One night, it was last night in fact, as I was going past the front of the attic stairs on my way to bed, and I don't much care for going past them either, I'm sure I heard a yell. How's he Keith and Matt right up, shut up there? Yes, I thought that. Or perhaps he a coiner. Or he might have been a pirate like the king of Treasure Island. He always hide in front of his old shipmates. "How exciting," said Polly. "I never knew your house was so interesting." "You may think it's interesting," said Diggory, "but you wouldn't like it if you had to sleep there. How would you like to lie awake listening for Uncle Andrew's steps to come creeping along the passage to your room? He has such awful eyes." That was how Polly and Diggory got to know one another. And as it was just the beginning of summer holidays and neither of them was going to the sea that year, they met nearly every day. Their visits began chiefly because it was one of the wettest and coldest summers there had been for years. That drove them to do indoor things. You might say indoor exploration. It is wonderful how much exploring you can do with a stump of candle in a big house or in a row of houses. Polly has discovered long ago that if you open a certain little door in the box room attic of her house, you would find a cistern in a dark place behind it, which you could get into by a little careful climbing. The dark place was like a long tunnel, with black brick wall on one side and sloping roof on the other. In the roof there were little chunks of light between the slates. There was no floor in this tunnel. You had to step from rafter to rafter, and between them there was only plaster. If you stepped on this, you would find yourself falling through the ceiling of the room below. Polly had used the bit of the tunnel just beside the cistern as a smuggler's cave. She had brought up bits of old packing cases and the seats of broken kitchen chairs and things of that sort, and spread them across from rafter to rafter so as to make a bit of floor. Here she kept a cash box containing fairy's treasure and a story she was writing, and usually a few apples. She had often drunk a quite bottle of ginger beer in there. The old bottle made it look more like a smuggler's cave. Diggory quite liked the cave. She wouldn't let him see the story, but he was more interested in exploring. "Look here. How long does this tunnel go on for? I mean, does it stop where your house ends?" "No," said Polly. "The walls don't go out to the roof. It goes on. I don't know how far." "Then we could get the length of the whole row of houses." "So we could," said Polly. "And oh, I say." "What?" "We could get into the other houses." "Yes, and get taken up for burglars." "No thanks." "Don't be so jolly clever. I was thinking of the house beyond yours." Well, I go in this read right here. This has been the Chronicles of Narnia Book 1, Chapter 1, Part 1 of The Magician's Nephew. See you in the next part.